about to come through now, and it'll be Steve Boofer, number 7, that completes the top 10 in the Donington Park 5. So, David Bartholomew getting 2 wins this weekend, Bill Cowley a 2nd place, having had not finished yesterday, and Mark Glover in 3rd place. Useful points.
Well, welcome back everybody to the paddock area for the historic 750 Formula. As I said, we have complete access all areas. So we've nipped down. This is actually John Moss's Austin 7 Sports. Just look at this fine looking machine over here. Car number 18, Timothy Roebuck. We're going to grab a word of him very, very shortly. Before we do that, though, let's just reflect on what happened in qualifying. If we could just bring up the classified qualifying results for you so you can have a quick look at that. As you can see, exciting stuff indeed. And it was Richard Pryor who snatched pole position right at the death from Christian Pedersen. John Village will start 3rd. Martin Depper in 4th, Graham Wilson in 5th, and Tim Sage, Kevin Welsh, Trevor Slatter, Jerry Fincham, Roger Rowe, Lyndon Thruston, Mike Whitby, Timothy Roebuck, El Frayland Cork, Simon Gallen, John Ingram, Charlie Plain-Jones, John Moss, his car you can see in front of us, James Miles, Archie Waterfield and Thomas Emden. Let's bring that down. In fact, I wanted to grab a quick word of Tim, but it looks like he's just disappeared. Let's head over here because I think we've got Roger Rowe over here with the red car. This is Tim Roebuck's car. Let's just have a quick look at this. Look at this, no seat belts. Let's come close and just have a look at what it is like in there. Imagine that, no seat belts, you're pumping along Donington Park National here. Incredible stuff, look at it. And we're going to see some really exciting stuff very, very shortly as to how low you sit in these cars and get some history as well. We've got Roger Rowe over here. Roger? He's not hiding from me, is he? I think he's just literally having a quick chat with someone. Well, Roger, how are you? It's great to see you.
Fine, thanks.
First of all, qualifying, how did it go for you?
Well, it didn't. Unfortunately, I've got seized brakes on the right-hand side and I can't free them.
Oh, no.
So it's my day ended.
Your day's ended?
As soon as I put a foot on the brakes, it
oh, I'm so sorry to hear that.
That was that.
I'm so sorry to hear that. Look,
just too dangerous.
Obviously, it's got its issues, but tell us about the car because it is absolutely. First of all, what's this?
Oh, time flies in Latin.
Oh, I didn't. There you go. I must brush up on my Latin. I think there we go. Time flies.
Temperature.
Tell us about
time
the car.
flies.
What is it, first of all?
I built it myself.
Yeah. Okay.
In the late 90s.
Yeah. Let's go get a closer look. Yeah.
Yeah. I built it myself in the late 90s. Won the championship with it in 2000. Then it had a 600 Reliant engine in it because that was what was allowed in the Formula. Now I've got a little Climax 750 engine in it.
Yes, I can see that. Look at that. What a cracker that is.
So it fits in there quite nicely actually, without any messing about with the car. So
what propelled you to do it, Roger? Is it a love, just passion, or?
Yeah, basically. Well, I never built a car. I built loads of karts.
Yeah.
Because I used to race karts for something like 20 years.
Yeah.
And because I'm the height that I am, I had to build my own to
I was
get in.
say you're a good foot taller than me, I think.
And so I thought, oh, it'd be nice to build a car. So when they allowed you to build cars for the Formula, I built this one.
Wow.
They were running short of cars and they allowed you to build them as long as you built them to the 74 regulations, which this was. So that's what I did.
Fantastic.
Somebody else built a car as well and we both built them. Fortunately, those days the cars were getting few and far between.
Yeah.
Now they seem to have come out the woodwork.
Well, I was going to say, it's nice to see the championships in healthy condition at the minute, isn't it?
Yeah, now they seem to have come out the woodwork.
It's,
so the Formula is really good. But the chap you can thank for it is Lyndon. Lyndon, pushed the Formula and did a wonderful job.
We're just putting the brolly out because it just starts to rain, doesn't it? It's just typical, isn't it? It always does, doesn't it? There we go. And you chose the red colour. Any significance, or just
no,
like red?
I just thought it looked good in red.
Yeah, I don't know, it's my favourite colour, Roger.
So it's actually Mondeo red.
Mondeo red. Okay. Okay, yeah, fair enough.
So there you go.
Well, I'm really sorry that you won't be racing here today, but thanks for taking the time out anyway to talk
I had
to
all last year off.
Yeah.
I didn't race last year at all because I've got chest problems, so I was locking down all the time. So that was it. I never even came to a meeting. So
were you out at Cadwell?
Pardon?
Were you out at Cadwell?
No, I wasn't out at Cadwell because I'd only had the vaccination a week before.
Right.
And they said you've got to leave it 3 weeks.
Yeah.
So this was my first meeting and the first DNF of the season.
At least we got you in front of the camera, Roger.
Yeah.
Well, look, we'll see you next time out anyway. And
Okay,
once again, sorry you're
not
racing, but it's great to see you anyway. What a shame that is, yeah, Roger Rowe out of the race. As you can see, we are now getting the covers on. Trevor. Yeah, just literally as we come out, it starts to rain. Typical. Look, this is might spice things up for the race a little bit, mightn't it?
Yeah, it always does. The rain always catches us out. Last time out when it rained, the Class C cars like these were shown the way around by the Austin 7s, by the Class A's. The Grid of Shame, as it was called at the time. But
well, we spoke about it the other day on the little preview show we did. It's rain is the great leveller, as we know. But look, just talk about these cars. Let's have a look at this one here because I want to know more. I want to educate myself about these cars because, first of all, how low in these do you sit?
Yeah, so you sit in two or 3 inches off the ground. This car is a 1969 Centaur, built and owned by Lynn Evans, who's a Morgan racer now. I bought it from him 8 or 9 years ago. I used to race against it back in the 70s.
Oh yes, wow.
And so it's got a history with me in a way. It's a lovely car. It's a very distinctive car.
It is. Is it the McLaren orange? Is that what we're going for? Is it
it's the Lynn Evans orange. Yeah, he chose the colour. Yeah, it is. It is very reminiscent of the McLaren, the papaya. Sure.
Look, why is this Historic 750 such a great series to be involved in? I mean, is it passion? Is it just the cars are so historic? Or is it everything combined?
I think it's everything. I think it's very like-minded people who love to fiddle about with their cars. As you walk down the paddock, you'll see a number of people working on their cars because you have to. And if you can do that, if you're willing to do that, then this is the formula for you. We all get on very well. You can see we're all more or less in the same part of the paddock.
Makes my life easier.
Make your life indeed. And it's a good, friendly formula. You'll probably find Lyndon over there fixing his cylinder head again, and surrounded by helpers and willing hands. So yeah, it is.
I just spoke to Roger. Unfortunately, Roger Rowe. Unfortunately, he's not going to be. He's DNFing already, which is a shame. But it's just great to see everybody back out again, isn't it?
Yes, it's great to be back. Yeah.
Well, look, thanks for educating me. I do appreciate it. We're going to carry on our little walk around. Like I said, we've got access to all areas. If you do want to find out more about the Historic 750 formula, remember there is a link in the text of this post wherever you're watching it. Click it, it will take you straight through to the Facebook page as well. The wind is playing havoc, isn't it? Once again. Typical, isn't it? It always rains, it's always windy. The cars are getting protected. Thank you, Trevor. The cars are getting protected, as we can see. We've got one running over here as well. Let's just have a little listen into this as well. Let's try and get a better position so we're a touch more protected from the wind, shall we? Another one of the Class C's cars here. Look how low they are. Just look, I'm actually going to show you. Just look at this as a demo. If I lie down, it's actually almost the same height as me. If I just had a few more burgers and beers, my belly would go above. That is how low these cars are. You are literally like that off the ground. It's incredible stuff. It really, really is. Another one of the Class C cars here. Of course, the Austin 7's a little bit higher. There we go. Let's have a look at car 32 here, by the way. What have we got here? This is absolutely stunning.
This is an Austin 7, 1934.
1934.
Yes. Racing car.
Are you racing it?
I am.
You are. What's your name? Sorry.
Archie Waterfield.
Archie, lovely.
Yes.
Archie, forgive me for saying you're a young man and you're taking the Austin 7 out. Some people might think, well, there's Alfa Romeos out there. There's all sorts of stuff. Why an Austin 7?
Well, my family have raced with the VSCC, the Vintage Sports Car Club, for my whole life. So vintage cars have always been been what I was always
Yeah.
going to race, and Austin is the perfect starting place with vintage cars.
Is it not a bit scary because you're sat in here? I mean, look at this. There's no seatbelt. It's just a bit of leather padding. Is it comfortable?
Oh, it's not comfortable, but you get used to it.
Go around the M25 on it.
No, when you're racing, you're not really thinking about comfort. No, you just get a good feeling. You get sort of, you feel every bump.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
And the sort of modern cars with cushions and stuff, you don't really get a feel for what's
They're
happening.
almost a bit like the old style Formula One cars, almost, aren't they? Like old style. But thanks for talking to us. Best of luck for the race. It's wonderful stuff to see. Let's just keep moving down a little bit so we get another look at some more of the cars, weather permitting. I don't know what has literally just happened from qualifying. It's absolutely just started to blow an absolute gale here, isn't it? It's just going to get a little bit windier. Let's move down, shall we, and have a little look at some more of the cars here. Look at this. Let's get a closer look. Just look at the pedals and everything here. This is just, look at this. This is incredible, isn't it? Is he in there? Is it? Thank you. Cheers. Hello.
Hello.
How are we doing?
Yeah, not too
I'm
bad.
just admiring the car.
Yeah.
Tell us more. What is it, first of all, and what is it like to drive? And give us as much info as you can.
Okay, so it's a Warren.
Yep.
It won the championship in 1973.
Wow. Okay.
They had a rule change, so they were side valve reliance.
Yep.
They went to the 650 overhead, and they made a mistake in the rules. And they basically said it was open induction. So Mike Evans had put a supercharged engine in, and it basically won the championship. Only just.
Yeah.
So we brought the car a long while ago. It was going to be split up. So my dad actually knew Evershed, and so we didn't want to see it split up. So we brought it, restored it, we built it live actually at the Race Retro show.
Yeah. Oh wow.
Got a lot of interest. We've run it for 2 years with a supercharged engine, and we've really struggled to keep it going. It's just so old and porous and difficult to run. So this year we've got an 850 in it.
Yep.
So it's a lot quicker and doing better. We will go back to the supercharged engine next year, and we're spending a year actually developing the engine.
Wow.
So yeah, it's really good. It's rear engine, so I think it's the only one out there that's rear engine.
I was going to say I was trying to look for the engine, and I thought, oh, hang on,
Yeah.
all the others, yeah.
And it makes it just because the gear changes back to front, so first and second is to the right.
I can see your sticker.
Loads of stickers
on
everywhere,
this.
trying
If
to
we can have a
remind
look
me.
at the steering wheel, there's actually the
Yeah.
gear changes on there.
So, but it seems to handle really well.
Yeah.
It likes the wet, so hopefully if it rains, it'll be good for us. Yeah, so actually this year we'll be about developing the car. We've always been concentrating on the engine, and as I say, we've built 3 different engines, and they're just too old.
This is more than just a financial investment, isn't it? This is going to be in the family forever, right?
Yeah.
You can't ever let this go.
Oh, actually, I don't. I've got a collection, and I just don't let stuff go.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, we spent 300 hours on the engine, so it's a hobby and it's a love. You know.
That's what this is what I love about this series. My first time doing the historic 750s, and just from talking to everybody, I was just chatting to Roger Rowe. He's not even going to make the grid.
Yeah.
He's still all smiles. He's still in his race suit, and he knows he's not racing today.
Nice. Joe, there's a real good community spirit here.
Yeah.
You know, and everyone helps everyone else, and I think some of the previous formulas I've done, particularly in karting, where no one would help you out, they'd give you false information. Here it's very different. It's just a real good family.
It seems a lot of the drivers have done karting. Is there, because you're so low to the ground, is there a sort of similarity, I suppose, in a sort of driving style?
A little bit. I mean, my personal theory is that if you can drive a kart, you can drive anything, you know, and I did it as a youth, and my son's done it.
Yeah.
You know, and then when obviously running him, you learn a lot.
Yeah.
It is sort of similar. I think you have to be far quicker with your reflexes in karting, and you be a lot more aggressive.
Yeah.
And I think
Well, the
that
corners
teaches
come a
you
bit
on
quicker,
this.
don't
And
they,
you
in
come
karting?
here, you're a little bit braver on the brakes, and you're not so fussed if it starts to get away from you.
Yes, yeah. Okay, look, thank you so much for sharing your story. We absolutely love it. Thank you so much. We'll see you for the race. We've got to have a look at this if we can. Look at this here. Geese, back to front. There you go. Let's just keep heading down. I did just see James Miles, who just walked past, actually. We'll see if we can grab a quick word with him as well. I just want to see some more of the cars. Here's John Ingram's car as well. Just look how low they are. It's like, just look at the back. It's like the Formula One cars from the 70s, isn't it? Just have a little look. Do you want me to take that? Do you want me to hold it a little bit? They're just like, look at that. It's just like a Formula One car, isn't it? from the 1970s. The wind is absolutely starting to really blow a gale. We're going to move down. We'll see if we can grab a quick word. I've got it. Yeah. We'll see if we can grab a quick word with John. And of course, don't forget, we're going to bring you both of the races today as well, and we will bring you more exclusive behind the scenes. We've got complete access all areas here today with the historic 750 Formula. It's going to be an absolute treat. It really is. I mean, just look at Ingram's car here. Of course, it's missing its steering wheel, but it's so low again to the ground, isn't it? How you doing? I'm just admiring it. It looks like a Formula One car from the 70s, doesn't it, with the back?
Fabulous,
oh, my word. What are these things like to drive, first of all?
Well, I'm sure. Well, I've only started racing last season.
Wow, fantastic.
And I'm a bit slow, but I mean, it's a fabulous little car.
Yeah.
I love it.
So, what propelled you to get into racing then?
Well, I've always been involved in racing all my life. I used to do a lot of rallying. I was rallying for, I don't know, 10 years, did the RAC 10 times.
Yeah.
Back in the day, had 2 X-Works Alpine Renaults. Managed to come.
I need to see some pictures of these, by the way.
Managed to come second on the Welsh in class one year.
Yeah.
And then my youngest lad got involved in karting, and then I took him up through into Formula 3, and then we finished up in doing LMES.
Yep.
And then I thought, right, it's time for me to have a go.
Get rid of the dirt tyres and get the track tyres on. Yeah.
And started last season, managed to get a few meetings in last season. I think we did 3 meetings last year, and then here we are. I enjoyed it today.
Where did the car come from then?
The car was built by a chap called Nigel Arthur up in the Midlands.
Right.
Great engineer, but not a race engineer.
Yeah.
And Joe White has race prepared it for me and looks after the car.
Yeah, fantastic.
Yeah.
Oh, look, I'm having such a good day today. I really am. Thanks for talking to us, guys.
That's all right.
We'll see you for race 1.
The thing about this formula is it's such a great social formula.
Yeah.
And everybody's helping one another.
Yeah, I've seen that already.
Formula.
Yeah, it really is. Everybody's been so friendly to us as well. It's a real pleasure.
They're
really
the
is.
fastest reliant Robins you'll come across.
Yeah,
that's right.
Close. At least they got 4 wheels though.
Oh yes. Well, we try to keep 4 wheels on. Sometimes we knock them off. But,
Something's gone wrong, isn't it, if they
that's
come
right.
off?
But if you get into the Austin 7s as well, they're a different kettle of fish.
Oh yes, yeah, we've had a look at those with Timothy.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've got both, so I really enjoy both.
I would love to race one of those.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're fabulous.
And I'd like to go down to France and do some of the VSCC races.
Yeah, that would be something special, wouldn't it?
Yeah, I really would like to. So we'll see.
Yeah. Okay.
If we have a good year in business, perhaps I'll have one of those as well.
I'll come find you then. You can let me have a spin in that. Okay. Thanks, gentlemen. Thank you. Let's just move down a little bit further, shall we? Here we've got Charlie up here as well. Just look at this. It's the Blackbird 21A class as well. Let's just move down and get a fine look at these cars. Just have a little look. Here's John up here as well. How are we doing, gentlemen? All right? Yeah. It's great to see you guys. Not in a virtual studio, but real life this time. We're getting a bit of rain, it's looking like, isn't it? That's going to be a bit of a leveller for the race, if it stays around, of course.
I hope it does stay around. I'm looking forward to it. So,
you went in last night when James was doing a rain dance.
I was doing one for the dry, I was doing the wet.
Or were we here?
No, it's all right. It's great.
It was great, really good. Yeah, so dry practice and then wet race by the looks of it, so it should be interesting.
James, tell us about this Austin 7 because it's stunning. First of all, what are we looking at here?
Okay, that is an Austin 7 engine, a supercharged Austin 7 engine. It's a pigsty engine, so from Alex.
Yep.
So it runs about, I think it runs about 70 horsepower on a close ratio box. A lot more power than the chassis probably needs, to be honest. But still really learning the car to a certain degree. But it's good. Every time I make changes, and if you make too many changes, you never know what you've done. So yeah, it's.
My question to you is how on earth do you get hold of these cars these days? Are they quite easy to find, or?
No, you have to literally build the car.
Right.
And you can buy them. I mean, some of these, these cars here, anything from 5 years to 60 years old. But single seaters usually, they do come up occasionally for sale. But this is a 1936 chassis, 1935 rear axle, and an original copy of a works front axle. So it's all, the engine's a 1930s engine, but all obviously being developed.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's all built into a single seater. So
how long have you had it?
I've had it since effectively I put this together mid 2015, something like that.
So was it just a bit of a shell when you got it?
It was a bit of everything, really. Yeah, literally a bit of everything. I knew what I wanted. I was down in France racing, and I wanted to enter Circuit de Raceparts. So I said to them, right, I'll put an entry in for this car. And they said, no, you can't, because that car is too new. They said, come back with something more interesting. So I went away and built this over a couple of years and came back with it and raced down there ever since.
And I bet they opened you with open arms there, didn't they?
It did, yes. Yeah. It usually, it's a nice, I don't know how I did it, but I built a good looking car, I think.
It's a fine looking car.
It is. You park it in a square in the middle of an old town and you have to fight to get back to it.
All I can see right now is some French village in the south of France.
That's it.
And this out there, and I'll be like, that's James Miles.
That's it. Well, no, you can. If you park it next to a Ferrari, they'll lean on the Ferrari looking at this. And that's a fact. So.
And rightly so. If cars could talk, hey? Wow.
Yeah.
Amazing, isn't it? Absolutely amazing.
Absolutely insane. Look, chaps, thanks for talking to us. We'll catch up with you throughout the day as well, and of course, best luck for the race as well. Let's just keep moving down a little bit. The sun's actually started to come out now. How nice is that? Let's just move down. I just wanted to see if Lyndon was around. We will catch up with him at some point today anyway, but car number 200 here. This is the pole sitter, isn't it? 200. Let me just have a quick look just to make sure I've got that right. No, this is Christian, actually, isn't it? It's, let me just shout out the name. Christian?
He's not here at the moment.
He's not here. Is everything okay with the car? Because he only did 3 laps in qualifying, although they were pretty quick lap.
It cuts out. Coming out of the old hairpin.
Because he was quick, wasn't he? The provisional pole right to the end, actually. And then,
he had a few seconds to come. He was just getting into the swing, and it cut. So
it's a gorgeous looking car. Just tell us a little bit more about it. First of all, what is it, and how long has Christian and family had it?
Christian's had it for 10, 11 years now. Started off normally aspirated, and then he supercharged it. Christian loves to go fast, so he's
clearly
always trying to get the car fast. So no, we've been developing it for around 10 years now. It's been very successful.
Well, fantastic. Well, let Christian know we were looking for him. We will catch up with him a little bit later. It's just, oh my word. I mean, you could spend all day here, couldn't you? It's absolutely gorgeous. Race 1 gets underway at 1:35, though, don't forget. We hope you've enjoyed this little behind the scenes look. We do have access to all areas. I think the rain might be about to come down. We're going to get ourselves back set up. When we come back, we'll be in the assembly area ahead of race 1, but after race 1, we're going to come back and give you live driver reaction from that and get to know these drivers a little bit better as well. Also get to find out some more stories about the cars. We found some incredible stories just there. Just before we head off as well, just let's bring up the qualifying order for race 1 as well. Richard Pryor, man on pole position. Christian Pedersen in this car will line up alongside him. Obviously the Class C cars, we've got the Class A cars. Well, Class A cars will be praying for rain because it will level the playing field somewhat, won't it? Let's pop that image down. And just before we head off as well, we just want to show you a little video about the historic 750 Formula. If you've enjoyed this coverage and you enjoyed qualifying, you want to know a little bit more, just watch this little video about the historic 750 Formula and we'll be back soon. Elaine, roll VT. Yes, mate, yeah.